Good evening. This is Swarab Swaminathan of the New Indian Express. This, we hope, will be a weekly look at the proceedings of the Indian Premier League. To help me dissect the seven matches that have taken place so far, I have with me senior cricket correspondent Venkat Krishna B. Hello, Venkat. Welcome to the show. Before I start asking you questions, I first want to ask you whether you missed covering the Indian Premier League this year. Usually, during the Indian Premier League, you would be spending your time in airports and stadia.
I think honestly speaking, previous years I would have preferred to stay here, but this time I think considering we have been indoors for a long time, I feel the buzz of being in the stadium is kind of something we miss, all of us miss, because we have something to look forward to in the IPL. There's plenty of interactions and plenty of things happening around, so that we naturally miss. I think that will be the case with most reporters. Deep down, everybody will be feeling oh, okay, why am I not being in the IPL? Definitely, that is for sure.
So, what would you rather be stuck in Zoom press conferences with, I don't know, MS Dhoni or Mohammad Kaif, or be right there in the stadium itself?
I think it's better to be in the stadium because you know what is happening. With Zoom calls, whatever technology is there, we are not able to get what is happening. We don't get a first-hand account of it. We're just relying on what they give us. So, speaking strictly as a journalist, I think it's better to be at the venue than to be miles away and having everything through Zoom calls and WhatsApp.
And I believe access has also been cut this year.
Yeah, access has been they have not been kind so far, but probably they are doing their best as well, because it's not easy to accommodate such a vast media industry in the IPL, and it's going to be very tough for them as well. So it's understandable, but these are the circumstances where you can't you have to accept certain things.
Moving on to my first question, obviously one of the big trends that we have noticed in the IPL so far is that of the seven matches, all the captains who won the toss have elected to put the opposition in, and of that seven, only one has come out victors. That is the first match between CSK and Mumbai. Any reason for this?
I think most of them went by what happened in the Pakistan Super League, where the toss played a huge part and then teams batting second had a role to play in that. So I think they went by that. And other thing is most of them don't know how the wicket is going to behave. You take three venues, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah and Dubai, everything have been three different things. So teams also don't know what kind of surface they're playing, and they're using multiple pitches as well so that the pitches don't slow quicker. So probably that has played a part as well, but I think it's first week you can probably give them the benefit of doubt, but I think moving forward they will have more they will rethink the strategy and plan accordingly. I think the dew has not been much, which I think has played a huge role in teams winning the thing.
Speaking of CSK, that's obviously the other big trend that the IPL has thrown out this year in the first week. They're obviously a really successful franchise. What's happened to them this year? How did the finalists in 2019 go to occupying almost the bottom spot?
See, that's what they have played in three different venues. They have played in Abu Dhabi, they have played in Sharjah, they have played in Dubai. So I think they have not been able to get a hang of which venue works which way. That is probably has played a part. And then I think injury to Raidu I think has affected their balance. And then everybody is saying, are they missing Raina? But no, I don't think they are missing Raina that much, because yes, all said and done, Raina of old has not been visible in CSK in the last couple of seasons. Yes, he has made that odd 50 or something like that, but the consistency has not been there with him. So if you look at overall, I think CSK are still quite a distance away from finding what their right combination is. I think they have tweak a little bit because they left out Imran Tahir, who was getting them wickets, and Piyush Chawla and Ravindra Jadeja both are not getting wickets. So which means they need to get somebody who can get the wickets in. If once that happens, I think they'll be back to again in contention for the players. But right now, I would say it's they are still long distance away. Although they are fifth, but I think other teams will catch up, and probably by the time they take the field next Friday, I think they'll be somewhere in the bottom.
It's interesting that you've obviously mentioned the spinners. They haven't been contributing that much. So are you surprised that the kind of criticism that Dhoni has got has perhaps maybe should have been tailored to the likes of Jadeja? I think it was given about 120 runs in 12 overs. This is just...
See, Dhoni trusts his bowlers.
Yeah.
One part of CSK is the best thing of CSK is that they trust their players enormously. Last season, you look at it, they bagged Shane Watson to the core, and he came good in the final. That's been their trademark as well. I think Chennai will continue to do that. Jadeja has been a proven customer for them. If he gets going, he's a good with the bat as well. And then with the ball, probably he's like little short on match practice like everybody else. And see, to be frank, Chennai also took the practice very late because of a couple of players tested positive, so they had to be under longer quarantine. That had a role. And then plus, if you remember, Dhoni insisted on having a training session in Chennai. This is probably, now you look at it, it makes sensible, because we were wondering why should he take risk by opting for net session in Chennai when the pandemic is like the numbers are rising. But now if you look at it, it makes more sense, because he knew that everybody, all these players are rusty and they're on the wrong side of 30s and they need much more time than others to get into the match group. And I think it is showing. If you look at it, like Dhoni has not been able to promote himself higher up the order. He's batted at number 7, number 6, because he's not able to get going immediately. So I think it will take time. I think the 6 days gap they have, I think will do them a world of good, because I think they are not gonna give rest to their players. They'll obviously go for training sessions. That's what I'm been hearing. So probably that's what we are looking at as well.
He's obviously taken a fair flack for coming down the order and sending in the likes of Kedar Jadhav, when Dhoni himself is probably a better power hitter. Going forward, do you think that Dhoni could maybe find a spot at 4 or 5? I mean, he's been known for lateral thinking, but we haven't seen any lateral thinking in this tournament so far.
Look, I think he might come in number. I still feel number 4 is too high for him. Probably number 5 would be really perfect, ideal for him. Or perhaps like as the tournament goes on, like probably he can promote himself to number 4. But I think from number 7 he come to number 6. I think the logical thing would be number 5 for Dhoni. But again, you never know with Dhoni how it works.
Dhoni and logic.
Yeah, it never works.
Exactly. Yeah. Gut feeling. I ask you now: do you think CSK will make playoffs, and why?
Gut feel. Okay, I'll tell you. It's not easy to write off CSK. I know it's like
they're probably like the Manchester United of the IPL.
Yeah, that's what. So like you can't write them off. And plus the thing is, like, I still expect, considering the spinners they have, if they start turning things around, I think it'll mainly due to the spinners. And if they can find the momentum, swing the momentum in their favor, I think they should ideally slip into the playoff, because like CSK are ensure that they have good run rate. Like everybody were like puzzled with the way how they batted against Rajasthan Royals other day. But if you look at it, if asked me personally, yes, it was like boring chase. But I think CSK is one team which calculates on the net run rate factor as well. They don't go like boom or bust like RCB does. RCB, like the other day against Kings London, they lost by a huge margin. See, those smaller margins matter in a tournament like IPL, where it like comes down to 4, 5, 6, 7 spot. We have seen over the seasons, like they are all like separated by just like 0.2%. So I think it matters in the end.
Okay, and who's the team that's caught the eye most? I mean, people are saying the Delhi Capitals this year look primed to go all the way. Would you agree with that assertion?
Yes, going my first week, yes. I think I will still go for Delhi. Like you said, has got a very good team. They have been impressive. Their bowling is top notch. They have like good pacers. They have good spinners. Yesterday, Ashwin was now there. Amit Mishra came and delivered. And even Kings and Punjab are looking good, to be frank. And again, it's just still early week.
Yeah.
But see, you have Mumbai Indians, everyone. So you don't know.
You can't
like
really write MI
off,
and CSK. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah. So, and then it's like gonna be a long tournament ahead. Like so, but I think DC definitely have the team at least to definitely go to the playoffs this time.
Okay, interesting. So if our senior cricket writer has anything to go by, back your horses on DC. That's all for this edition of the Bulletin. Till next week, this is Swarup Swaminathan and Venkat Krishna B signing off. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Thank you.